Welcome everyone to the Rare Whovians Cast, episode 192. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212. I'm here with Graham. What's up, Graham? Hello, Graham.
Yep, what happened there? You froze, mate.
Okay. This is Matrix Lord 212 for the Rare Whovians Cast 192, and I'm with Graham. What's up, bro?
How we doing, mate? And I think it's 192, mate. I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure it's 192.
Yes, I did say 192, didn't I?
Yeah.
192,
I think you said. Yeah.
Okay, 192. And go ahead, Graham. What do you have for us?
Yeah, basically, guys, this is coming courtesy of Dr. Freedom and his Amiga files and these various sources. Please go check that out. Thanks for the information, Brian. I just watched back his episode of the Amiga files last night, and he dropped some very interesting information, guys, with regards to the regeneration life cycle, with regards to the Doctor. And I want to get your take on this, Joe. If you just let me explain this as best as possible. Going by his sources, which 9 times out of 10 are usually on the money, you know, if we go back to Enemy of the World and whatnot. Matt Smith is potentially the final incarnation of this regeneration life cycle. And Peter Capaldi will be, yes, he will be the 12th Doctor, but he will be the first incarnation of a whole new life cycle. How that comes to be is still a bit sketchy. But after Christmas, it looks as if we're getting a whole new life cycle, guys.
Okay, so the thing is, the way it originally was that we had William Hartnell, who was the first Doctor.
First incarnation.
But he did not regenerate. You don't count William Hartnell as one regeneration.
No.
And the way it originally was is that with 12 regenerations, we would have 13 Doctors. In theory.
Yes.
Now, the problem is that while it's been said over and over again, everybody envisions 12 regenerations, 12 Doctors. They really don't pay attention.
12 regenerations, 13 lives.
Right. They really don't pay attention that there's 13 lives because they get confused with the number. I think maybe subconsciously or not, they always wanted to fix that where 12 regenerations, 12 Doctors or whatever, but they just didn't know how to go about doing it. Now, Hurt's Doctor can't. Well, let's start it off with where everything got started getting skewed.
Troughton.
Okay?
Patrick Troughton
was the first regeneration.
Yes.
The John Pertwee was the second regeneration.
Yes.
Tom Baker was the third.
Yes.
Peter Davison was the fourth.
Yes.
Colin Baker was the sixth.
No.
I'm sorry, fifth. I'm getting confused here. Fifth. Sylvester McCoy was the sixth.
Yes.
Paul McGann was the seventh.
Yes.
John Hurt is the eighth.
How that happens, we don't know. How Eccleston emerges, we don't know, but that's the eighth.
Yes. Eccleston is the ninth. 10th Doctor is the 10th. Stolen Earth is the 11th regeneration. Matt Smith is the 12th regeneration, but the 11th Doctor. Yes. Now, it's been speculated since I first started making videos that a lot of people didn't count the Stolen Earth. When I first made videos, I said it didn't count because it wasn't a full regeneration. I believe I was correct, but only half correct, because if it was only, I would say now, if it was only about 95% regeneration, the 5% remaining would be in the Doctor to use for Angel's Take of Manhattan, which he used to heal the hand. That extra percentage was probably still within the Doctor, because if you remember, he transferred it to the hands, and the hands grew back the Doctor. It wasn't a complete regeneration because it wasn't a change. There wasn't a physical change, but the regeneration energy, there was still a little bit of regeneration energy left.
Right.
Meaning that it wasn't a complete regeneration, but it was enough to heal her hand. Okay.
No, right. Here's the thing on that with regards to Angels Take Manhattan. I mean, it's all said and done. You'll probably classify it as great foreshadowing once we know how this all pans out. But basically, River meets him out of order. She knows his past, his future, his present, blah, 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 blah. When he healed her hand, all right, and she went ballistic at him after doing that, that's because she knows that when he goes, it's done. Finito.
Right.
He is the final incarnation.
She knows it. But it's not a complete regeneration that he healed the hand. It was whatever was left over, I feel, from the stolen earth regeneration, because he didn't fully use the energy.
Well, or either that, or whatever happens when a Time Lord dies. I don't know. You know, I guess we'll find out at Christmas.
I just feel that that's correct, because it wasn't a full percentage of regeneration. Now,
you know, and before we get comments on this video and whatnot, people getting confused with what we're talking about, let me simplify it in this terms. We know Data Sigma, aka as the Doctor. Okay. Matt Smith is the 11th Doctor, but the final incarnation, because the John Hurt Doctor, although still an incarnation, denounced the title of the Doctor.
Still a regeneration.
Still an incarnation.
Just like the stolen earth with all the energy added together, it's still a regeneration. So you have two.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here's where it gets tricky. Okay, because a lot of people are going to be like, I don't understand this.
Exactly.
If we really dissect, like I said, we don't dissect, but we
of course we do.
We do.
Yeah.
We really do. I was just, playing it off, joking around. But if we really dissect, and I know you're gonna shake your head, Graham.
Yeah.
But
probably.
I know what you're gonna. You know what's coming. If we're talking about foreshadowing, I don't like that whole foreshadowing thing. I do not believe that a Doctor that could can come back into the past. I always felt that the Watcher was the final incarnation of the Doctor, and the Valyard was the next to final. I felt that the Watcher was the final, because where the Master was decrepit in his final incarnation, the Doctor was like an angel almost. And there's something that happened in the past that has to be changed, a fixed point or something that he would basically regenerate into himself, or merge with himself, keeping that one memory of the Time War or something, so that he could change it. Just like the Time Lords had sent the signal through the untempered schism for the Master, and they placed a white point star so that way they can get out of the time lock. They have to finagle around how you could alter time if it's a fixed point or still point without having consequences. So my thing is that, one, you could say that the regeneration with Tom Baker into the fifth, some could say it doesn't count as a regeneration, because if you take the Master, yes, because he merged with someone. Okay?
Right.
You could say that, because the Master, the way I counted, he had 15, 16. He kept going by merging in different things, and becoming a slug creature. And all right, whatever. But we're going to do a topic on the Master another day. But
you know my feelings with regards to that, mate. Everybody's entitled to it.
I think it was a regeneration in Legopolis, but I have an open mind to say you could say it doesn't count as regeneration energy technically. Okay. Now,
with regards to the Watcher being the final incarnation, well, if this pans out and if Matt Smith's the final incarnation of this life cycle, that's that out the window.
Yes. Now, you have to recognize the Valyard. You have to recognize the Watcher. He already recognized the Valyard, and Russell T. Davies hinted at the Watcher, because if you look at the end of time, that whole scene where the Doctor's staring at Martha Jones and Mickey, he was like the Watcher in the same pose from the bridge, looking but not saying a word. They're trying to make it out. They're like, it's him. We don't really know what David Tennant did, how long he had, because they said supposedly in the Sarah Jane Smith adventures that he held the regeneration energy so much that he visited every single companion he's ever had, period, watching him. I'm going to say, the John Hurt thing threw us for a loop. We were all fighting it. I was enraged by it because I don't like stuff messing with the history that I respect. I did love, though, the mini-show with Paul McGann. But my confusion was, because I did become negative afterwards because I was like, why are we doing the Valyard? And he's not the Valyard, which it wasn't. It was just that he is a warrior. He is the Doctor, but he gives up being the Doctor and just does the warrior part.
If this pans out, Joe, he's not getting reset. He is an incarnation within the life cycle.
But he's not the Doctor.
Yeah. He counts, but he counts as part of the incarnation, but he's not got the name of the Doctor.
Now, 100% loved the episode, everything. When I had a discussion with my children, which is very important to me because, my son Joseph was the one, like he called it, that the impossible astronaut was River before I even said anything. And like growing up, which that was a great guess. And, I predicted the test selector thing. But my son Anthony had told me, well, Dad, the elixir made him a warrior and not the Doctor. It's in his body, so why wouldn't he regenerate into another warrior or something that's not the Doctor? Why would he have that whole belief to end the war and everything and decide to go back to what it was? It was like a cop-out. How could he go and become the Doctor again when for probably centuries and centuries he wasn't the Doctor? Why wouldn't the elixir forever alter him to just not be the Doctor anymore? It's like going back to your old girlfriend or something. You know what I'm saying? Well, it wouldn't make sense. Like my son was telling me, and I didn't even think of this.
Right, okay.
And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh my God.
Well,
my kid may be right.
we might get an answer to that. These 2 episodes to come. There's the beef.
There's the beef. What's up, Beefhead?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are we doing?
What's up?
How much sleep did you have, Beefhead?
I think I fell asleep in episode 3.
So, my son has a point. It is possible. I don't know how they're going to explain that. But I wasn't even thinking that, to tell you the truth.
Well, that's a valid point. The explanation for that's still to come. It's not as if they've ignored it as yet,
So now, let's picture this, because I've said it before on the cast. Imagine a scenario, he's battling everybody, and he just can't regenerate. Okay, and then I heard a story about Peter Capaldi being a human, battle on Trenzalore, the Doctor dies, he sacrifices his body to merge with him, and that's what I heard a rumor. Okay.
Again, still conflicting reports on that, but yeah.
Yeah, but we know he's going to get a whole new life cycle. We know they're not going to do a thing where he regenerates once and that's it.
But sorry, Joe, just to follow Beefhead in. Beef.
Yeah.
Do you remember last night when I was counting?
Yeah, I do indeed, yeah.
Well, apparently that came to pass.
There's something to say for being inspired by drink.
Yes. No, but to be fair, Freedom reported on it before I was counting on the drink. So.
Right.
I watched it back this morning and I went, holy shit, cast.
Yeah.
Sorry for the language, Joe.
So it's
more the ratings again.
Yeah.
So it's more to do with incarnations than regenerations as such.
Yeah, exactly. Matt Smith is the 11th Doctor, but he's the final incarnation of that life cycle.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm with you, yeah.
Okay. Now, what about the River regenerations that helped him regenerate? Why doesn't he have those?
I don't know.
I don't know if you can transfer them like that, to be honest with you, can you?
So it just brought him back to life, basically.
No, but yeah, it was like a kickstart, like the elixir for Paul McGann, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah. So they're just wasted. They were just wasted.
It's like a glorified ET, I would suppose, really, yeah. Ouch, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
All right, so something's going to happen, and
we don't know. We don't know what yet, but yeah. Peter Capaldi.
Serious, yeah.
Yeah, Peter Capaldi will be the 12th Doctor.
Yes.
But incarnation number 1 of a new cycle.
Let me ask you a question now. Has there been confirmation about Matrix Lord predicts the stabbing?
Oh, for the love of God. There's not going to be no
the
stabbing.
The Doctor will not be stabbed by Manic Bavarian? Can we confirm that?
No, there will not be no stabbing.
Are you sure about that?
Well, the only tidbit going around just now was Matt's pun of he's going about with a bang, and let's just say it will be explosive.
Yeah.
So he's going to lose his legs? Is that what it is?
I don't know where the whole leg thing came from. Or the wooden Cyberman. That's news to me.
Yeah. More chance of splinters from a wooden Cyberman. Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Now,
so the only question is now, how does the new life cycle come about? If this all pans out, of course.
Yeah.
Another thing. If it's possible now, is it that the Time Lords manage the regeneration cycle, and that is why the Master, when he was young, was studying the dark Time Lords and stuff, because there are ways to regenerate without the regeneration energy that the Doctor is not aware of? Like, that's how he was able to survive all these different times?
No, because was he not resurrected after his final? He was resurrected.
I mean, what I'm saying is this. He was taken by these dark Time Lords, studying these dark arts, different things. You had the Sisterhood that practiced their own thing with Time Lord stuff. You have other factions. The Master in Traken merged with Nissa's father.
Yeah.
He knew of that technique. Okay? So if he knew of that technique, you know, he'd done that before, though.
Yeah, but the problem with that was we don't know if that body could technically regenerate. Because if you remember in the 5 Doctors, John Pertwee rolled up to him and Bessie and went, "Another regeneration?" And he replied, "Not exactly."
Also, they didn't the Time Lords resurrect John Sims, the Derek Jacobi Master as well, because they resurrected him purely for the Time War, and he fled.
Well, basically, if you remember, he get exterminated at the beginning of the movie. You know, he then went into Bruce. Then he ended up in the Eye of Harmony, and then somehow he got resurrected for that to fight in the Time War.
But they gave him a new cycle of regenerations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that's the case, because you're probably going to get shot a few times during an intergalactic war, you know.
But he lost regenerations when he died. Like, when he came back, he didn't have them, correct? Or we don't know?
The End of Time one?
Yeah.
But Derek Jacobi... Yeah, go on. Sorry, mate, go on.
When you go, before you go. When you go, I've talked to him.
Well, I was going to say, he refused to regenerate at the...
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about he had a fresh new life cycle. But when they brought him back to life, they didn't finish the ceremony, so did he not be able to get the regenerations back?
Quite possibly.
It could be something similar to the Anthony Ainley body, where you don't know whether the regeneration could take place or not.
No. What I'm saying is, because it wasn't complete, the process. Yeah. I mean, if it was, his body was decaying, why wouldn't he just regenerate?
I don't know.
Well,
yeah, but we don't know on that.
I just think he's going to regenerate when we see him next time, the Master.
See, that's the thing. If you bring him back, you're probably going to need a new Master, but do you bring John Sim back just for 5 minutes?
No, you bring him back for a full episode and he regenerates at the end.
Yeah,
I think he would do it, yeah.
Yeah, but then he just got accused of ripping off Legopolis and Castro Balva. You can't win.
Why would you get accused of ripping that off? He could still be the Master. He could still be in an episode.
No, I'm talking about whereby, you know, like finishing one episode with one incarnation and start from the next episode with another. You know.
Yeah.
Of the Doctor, I mean, that's obviously not the Master. No.
So, who's on Trenzalore?
Going by all indications and early reports, it's the Alliance, possibly the Silence, and it's an all-out war between a lot of them. That he's stuck in the middle.
The Silence, the Alliance, Manic Bavarian,
Well, no word on Madame Covarian, but if the silence are there, you would be surprised if they didn't pop up at least a cameo.
The headless monks too in the church?
No word on those guys, but when they say everybody, really, they could mean everybody. The Silurians, the
But who's with the doctor, though?
Clara.
No, that's not hopeful there. You got like a million races versus like 2 people.
Well, you know, it depends how the story pans out. We just don't know. Some of the stuff could be hearsay. Some of the stuff will probably be included. It's basically trying to feed your way through the bullcrap and what's legit and what's not. How do you think these guys keep their jobs? You know,
True.
They put out some real stuff and then they put out some other stuff there so as they throw you. So,
is it possible that there's other incarnations besides Hurt that we don't even know about?
Besides John Hurt?
After Hurt.
After Hurt. Well, that's the only black now. How does Hurt get to Eccleston?
Yeah, that's it.
Because if this is legit, there's no reset button. McGann getting out of the ship. He's not choosing another gauntlet. He definitely went into Hurt. So it's just a question of how we get to Hurt, from Hurt to Eccleston.
Which they won't explain.
I doubt they will explain, but they're going to have to. Well, they don't have to, but you just be basically filling one black hole and replacing it with another.
Or 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's not cool.
Unless that's what what's the minisode called, the 4-minute one. Unless that explains it there.
And also, the Great Intelligence mentioned another incarnation, or maybe not incarnation, the Beast.
A name, yeah.
The oncoming storm, the Beast, the Valyard. The Valyard, he knows about the Valyard, so the Valyard's got to appear in the Christmas special.
No.
Why not? It's got to be coming, the Valyard.
Well, it depends on how this new life cycle comes about. Remember, between his 12th and final incarnation, right? Matt Smith is the final incarnation. So if the Valyard was legit, it would have happened between Tennant and Smith.
Well, no, not necessarily, because we don't. Again, the Valyard cannot appear for another 20 years, man. I mean, if he's got a new life cycle, it's somewhere between his 12th and final.
No, I know that, Joe, but I'm saying if they were sticking to the 13 rule, the Valyard would have been between Tennant and Smith.
Yeah.
Unless he already appeared as a Dream Lord, and he's still around.
So, it'll be interesting. As I say, so many, you know, it's interesting. This is the route they choose to go down. It's something fresh. I wouldn't say it's completely something fresh and new, but it's exciting. It'll just be interesting to see how this new life cycle is gamed, though, based on a war between everybody.
I just need to see Men of Bavarian return, because you need to come full circle, and I think she's a big part of it. Yeah.
Well, Matt might be not too far from the truth when he mentioned the Great Bitter War. This could be in Christmas Town.
From one he can't escape, isn't it? He's sort of pretty isolated. Yeah.
And Matt Smith had said he's going back to Trenzalore to finish the final episode when he made it in an interview. So
that could have been a hint. Christmas time with Trenzalore.
Yeah.
It's all coming full circle, guys. Maybe not exactly how we liked, but
was it like 7 days now? Less than 7 days.
The dots are joining together. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Connecting
the planets are aligning. Yeah.
Yep.
You know.
All right.
So yeah, interesting times ahead, guys. So we'll see how accurate, you know, good old Brian's sources are this time, but he's usually bang on the money.
Yeah. All right. I think we're going to end this now on a high note, and we'll probably be back later on today with any other news. Guys, have a great day, and thanks.
Same to yourself, buddy.
Yeah, you too, mate.
Take care, guys.